Hey everyone, my name is TP and my topic was athletics for the presentation. There's actually a lot to athletics, and it's actually quite interesting when you get into the minute details of it and the kind of controversies. So I'm just going to get right into it. So there are three main different groups of people who do athletics. The first being athletes. Those are going to be your sports players, the people who are on the field participating in the sports actively. The second group are organizations. And so these are going to be putting on events, executing them successfully, and bringing together members of the sports communities in athletics. It doesn't necessarily have to be for one sport, it can be for multiple. The third group are brands. Brands are corporations who help fund organizations, pay individual athletes, and put on large events like the Super Bowl or Wimbledon. The word athletics itself comes from the Greek word athlos, which means contest or task. And so basically, the first place we would have ever seen applied athletics on a large scale is at the ancient Olympics over 2,500 years ago. So there are four main categories for activity in athletics. The first one is jumping, which is going to be your like high jump, long jump, pole vault, and triple jump for track and field. And a more obscure one would be something like ice skating. So the second category is running. So this is really going to be anything racquetball sports related, track related, football, basketball, baseball, soccer. They're all going to be under the umbrella of running. So our third category is throwing. So that basically means you're just throwing something. So that could be like shot put, that could be bowling, darts, javelin, discus, axe throwing, hammer throwing, and even some pentathlons have throwing exercises. Okay, so when they were coming up with what athletics was, they added in walking. And where I might first disagree with this, there are professional athletics that require walking, like professional speed walking, which is really hard to do. So here's some you might not have heard of before. There's broomball, which is basically a modified version of hockey. There's underwater rugby, which is kind of like a mixture between athletics and aquatics. And then in the Philippines, they have this thing called sipa that they play, which translates to kick. So let's say that my charming voice and amazing presentation have inspired you to pursue athletics as a possible career option. The obvious question is, where? Where can I go to do it? So for outdoor, you can really go anywhere there's a track. Middle schools, even high schools, colleges, all those grounds are going to have tracks, open spaces for you to do it on. For racquetball sports, just look it up online. There's going to be stuff in your community. And then athletics usually has indoor locations as well, like the Hawkeye Tennis and Recreation Complex, or even the rec center or the field house that have kind of those indoor locations. You can look those up online as well. It'll tell you where they are in your area. And now you're asking, TP, when can I possibly start? And the answer is any day of the week. Usually the rec centers are open Monday through Sunday at reasonable hours, so you can go to any of those locations and start today. And luckily, because we have indoor locations, we can do it all 4 seasons of the year, which means that if it's snowing, we have indoor. If it's raining, we've got indoor. If it's hailing, maybe stay home. Now you're asking, but what if I'm a night owl? What if I want to work out at like 11 p.m.? Well, luckily, a lot of indoor locations are open until midnight. And a lot of outdoor locations have lights, so you can practice until like 4 a.m. if you want. Interestingly enough, swimming is not considered to be an athletic sport. However, there's been a push from professionals to get it under that category because it shares a lot of resemblances with those athletic sports that I've previously mentioned. Another controversy is the pay gap. Essentially, men's and women's athletics get approximately the same viewership, but men's athletes get paid 2 to 3 times more than women's on average. Finally, I want to introduce you to my 3 Ds: discipline, determination, and dedication. With those 3, you can be the best athlete in the world. Finally, I want you to look at these 3 athletes who are arguably the greatest of all time in their fields. Now that you know more about athletics, I hope that you have a deeper appreciation and understanding for all that goes into making them who they truly are today.